Hello everyone, welcome back to part 3 of the co-op slash sports game, Pixelman Volleyball. In this release video I talk about the inspiration of the game, do a live let's play, and my closing thoughts on the game. Remember, if you're enjoying these videos, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Now, let's get to the video. So first of all, like I said in the first video of this game, my inspiration was from a super old game called Slime Volleyball. It was a super simple, just two half circles bouncing a ball into the other player's side of the court. Not too much about it, just endless play. However, I knew if I tried to have that in my game, well, it would have been done on Monday, and no one wants to play such a boring game with no depth. Now I had to add something to make the game playable even if you had no one to play with. Enter Champion Mode, or as many other co-op sports games go, Season/Playoff Mode. So digging into my Canadian hockey roots, I decided to build this mode. You will face 7 unique opponents, all who position slightly different and react to the ball in their own way. Much like teams in hockey or football or even basketball, these sports games are not for everyone, but for those who like competition. Doesn't matter how much you know about the sport, it's just fun. So that's a little background on the inspiration. Let's get into the playthrough. So now that we know a little bit about what's inspired to make this game, let's jump right into the game here. So much like all my other games, it's got the same kind of buttons. This time we do have two different buttons for our play mode, our champion mode and exhibition mode. But before we get into those, let's go ahead and go into our settings. I've changed up how the volume is done here, so you can now use buttons to increase or decrease the volume. Let's leave it on 3 for now. Let's also see how we play this game. So I'll read this out for you. Exhibition mode allows you to play versus computer or locally 1v1. Champion mode is a single player tournament mode to defeat 7 opponents in sequence. And then I just have the controls here. So player 1 controls, they use the WASD setup, and player 2 uses the arrow key setup. Nice, so now that we've configured our settings and we've learned how to play, let's try and jump into exhibition mode. You'll notice that I go right into what kind of looks like a tutorial mode here, which that's exactly what it is. So if you have no idea how to play, well, this is going to be your basics. So it says, welcome new volleyballer. Here's where we'll show you some basics. Let's start with moving. Press A and D to move and try and get the ball over the net. So you can almost kind of try and move the ball over there. But if you can at least get it over the net, then it'll work. Excellent. Let's try ourselves a bump. You can perform this action with S. And so hitting S, I do my bump. You're really getting the hang of this. Let's try a spike. You can perform this action with W. And of course, if you ever want to just quit the tutorial, you can always just hit exit. But I'm just going to finish this off, and let's win with a spike. And then it says you've completed the basics. You can stay in practice or jump into some game modes. So if you just stay in practice, whenever you kind of land the ball into their side, then it'll just reopen the screen. So let's go ahead and exit. I'll first show you exhibition mode. So if we click on that again, it comes back. It looks very similar to our tutorial mode. You have 2 options here. You can play versus computer, so this will set the computer's level, or you can play locally 1v1. So for example, if I just want to play against a computer, level 1, they're going to be pretty bad. And what do you know? It can score on me. Yes, this is how you beat the level 1. You just get the ball over their head. But anyways, that is pretty much exhibition. So you can either hit replay and it'll reset this map, or you can go to main menu. So I'm just going to go to main menu. And let's jump into our championship mode. So championship mode, every opponent has their own distinct color. They also have their own distinct kind of ground that they play on. And as you probably have noticed, you have an audience watching you. They will track the ball and they cheer every time it lands on one side or the other of the court. So let's go ahead and face our first champion mode round here. The first round is very similar to our computer of level 1 difficulty. They do have a little bit more tricks up their sleeve. They will use spikes. And I just completely missed that one. A good rule for, or tip, I guess, for trying to beat these opponents is always either try to aim for in front or behind the enemy. Or not enemy, the opponent. They usually have a hard time if it's going to land like right in front of them. Or if it's going to be landing like a little bit behind them. So those are really key spots to kind of aim for. And now we're here into round 2. And I just missed that one. Your player is all moved with physics, so you have to also make sure that you're not over compensating with the movement. You want to make sure you're in kind of a good spot to receive the ball. And when you do score a point, it does reset your position. Let's also make sure that you're trying not to move too far when you can see that the ball is going to be hitting their end of the court. Otherwise, you might misposition yourself for the serve. And there's no max amount of hits that you need to do. So you have the ball on your side and you are having trouble getting it over, don't worry, there is no touch counter or anything like that. You can keep spamming your buttons until it gets over to the side. A good kind of rule of thumb is when it's bouncing off the wall and coming back towards you, try and do like a jump as well, a spike. That'll help it just get over. Let's go ahead and see this last mode here, or this last person. As you can see against the Quickster here, it's very useful to kind of aim the ball to be right in front of where he's going to be. Since he's kind of small, he has trouble kind of jumping for those balls. And so that's pretty much Pixelman Volleyball. There's of course more rounds to go, but I'll let you figure those out on your own. So yeah, Pixelman Volleyball. It's a fun little game to challenge you to winning the championship. You can also challenge some friends. So if you have friends, family, or a partner living with you, you can have some fun playing against each other to prove who's the best volleyball player. Just remember, it is just a game, so don't get too angry at each other. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the gameplay for Pixelman Volleyball. It's now live on my itch page. That link will be down in the description. If you've made it this far in the video, big thank you for watching. And again, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll also be releasing my second How It's Made video tomorrow on Cave Climb. To remember, that game is where you start at the bottom of a cave and you climb all the way up. I'll also be posting a poll on my Instagram page for next week's game. I think this will be a little fun, interactive way to make sure you can vote on what game I create next week. Anyways, thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.